Hello class, this is homework number 3 and we have a task to do it at home, which is creating config file and separating elements and separating test data and test ng and make a framework from the config and make a systematic configuration. And we needed to use all at test annotations in order to run our test cases for the automation of the given website. Okay, first of all, what I did, I just created a config package in the Java class, and in the config properties I put use the key words like keys, entered the value, and uh, defined the browser in the config. We're gonna use in this case Chrome. Either we can use Edge, it's up to you. So we have to put the drivers to the drivers package file. From there we're gonna show the for example in Chrome driver we're gonna show the properties path. Also we can use the on the config properties the URL for the tech files website, and I also put the username and password over here in order to run from the config file. In this method I use the WebDriver as a global. I declared it global, and the string for the browser, for URL, also for username, and for the password strings I just define it as a global, and separate the login data as a global method. So in here we use the try and catch method, try and catch condition in order if we if file fails or breaks, it's better to use try and catch, like put some exceptions. And here as you see I imported IO exception as well, and also on the props we put the input class in order to for Java to understand the key value concept, which is from here, from the configuration properties. And I'll create the object as I told you for the as a key value for Java to understand if you're gonna use the config. And here I defined the element list, which is login elements, and for the this is by XPath elements, which is web drivers, and we defined all of them here. First couple of rows for the login, and for the next one for the dashboard, and the rest for the add contact and the etc. As for test data or mock data, I just created a string and I saved the the all values, string values to the container and named them accordingly to understand for the user easier. I just named them with a simple names. In before method annotations, I just use the public void init method, and we used here if else conditions. For example, for Chrome, I just define the equal ignore case if in case if we gonna change over here, let's say something here, browser side, it will still run the Chrome here because it ignores the case in this example. And I declared the driver as a new driver. I created the object, and for the else if, I use the edge. In case it fails, it's gonna run the edge browser as the same type like I created here, the same object. If even if it fails, the second one, the else condition will print out select proper browser. We already been taught about this in the classes. So, and here for the drivers, we're gonna use manage variables, like for the deleting cookies window, you are allowed getting URL, and also implicitly wait for 10 seconds, industrial standard. I just here put the annotation for test annotations. We can also run this, but that is not necessary for right now, because if I gonna run it, it's gonna run two browsers, not in the same time, but with a couple seconds difference. I didn't define here the like a priority. I didn't show it here, but we could use the priority as well. Like if I want to run which one first, if I want to run, just I'm gonna put in the parentheses the priority 1, and at test method I'm gonna use the priority 2. So on the at test method here, test annotation, for the add customer page, we're gonna use the same login, and I put the thread sleep. I don't know, for me, I might use the wait element, but it didn't work for my Eclipse. So that's why I stick with the thread sleep. And here, I use the customer menu field click, add customer menu field click, and put the wait for element. And we can validate the add customer page as well. And then we're gonna fill out the all necessary fields, which is given earlier by XPath elements and string. Also, I use the random generator numbers in order to be like for the repetitive information to use the random integer generators. Every time if you're gonna automate that page, it's gonna show different numbers which is added to the strings, and it will be, by that way it's gonna be unique. So I use the for the email, for the phone, for the address, like a randomizing numbers. And for the city state zip, I just stick with, with simple. And for the zip code, I also use the random num generator. According to drop down menus, I create the object which is given here at the bottom. Like I create the object, and uh, I create the object and call it in the main method here. So also for the random numbers, we also create the object here, and yeah, since it has the return value, so we're gonna put the integer here, and I put the bound as a main general value here, so we can use any numbers in every single page or single lines. And I just put the annotation for the after method. We can use without that too. uh, and if I'm gonna run it, let's run it. uh, so it should be okay. Yeah, now it's working. I think everything should be okay. Now we have to just, let's say, close it and see what's the test engine says. And it's passed, so it's working. uh, that's it. Thank you guys for attention and for